Hey guys, today is September 2024. We're going to be working on my 2004 Lexus GX470. Basically the U-joints for the front drive shaft. We're going to replace those. I don't know if you can, it's kind of hard to see in this video. Anyways, there's some play. I was making a clunky noise. I had my son go in there and put the car in gear and then in neutral, and I could hear the clunk coming right from here. Also, on the freeway, you could get a little bit of a vibration, high frequency vibration. Not something that you would get from a wheel that's off balance, but it literally felt like the frequency, like real high frequency, very slight. I could barely feel it on the steering wheel. Probably a normal driver wouldn't think anything of it, but I knew something was not normal. So we're gonna go ahead and replace these these U-joints here, and hope that fixes it. This is what we're gonna be replacing it with. These are Moog 285 U-joints. Comes with clips, a new Zerk, and that's what it looks like. I've seen a few videos of how to replace these, and it's a little more complicated than other ones, but we're gonna see if we could take a shortcut with it using no special tools. All right, to remove the drive shaft seems quite simple. There seems to be 4 bolts, nuts holding it together on both ends, or here, and then we go towards the front. There used to be another 4 right there also. I don't need to film that. I'm going to go ahead and remove those bolts, nuts, and get this drive shaft out of here. Okay, the drive shaft is off. Make sure you mark it, so you can put it exactly the same way it was, due to balance issues. So if you don't want to lift it, what you do is you loosen up the bolts that are accessible from the bottom, and there's going to be at least 1 or 2 that are towards the top of your vehicle that you're not going to be able to access. So what I just did, I loosened them up. I didn't take them off completely. I just loosened them up, got in the car, rolled it forward a little bit, and obviously this is going to spin, and then it's going to spin to where you can have access to those other screws, and then you could go ahead and undo everything, and then after that it came off pretty easily. You do have to pry it. You can see it's got like a little lip here, so it won't just fall completely off. You do have to stick something under there and pry it off on both ends. It will compress because of this slip joint here. You can kind of think of it as being a kind of a spring mounted, basically, so it's kind of telescoping. This will compress here, so you do have enough room to squeeze it and get it out. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and remove these clips. I don't know if you can see them or not. They're in there. They're right in here. They're on the inside. Some other types of U-joints have them on the outside. These have them right in here, and they're just a semicircle, circlips, C-clips. I don't know, I'm not sure the exact name of them, but they're right in there. Kind of hard to see, but I'll remove one and you'll see. Okay, here it is. The first one came off rather easily. Take your screwdriver and you just hammer a little bit softly on one end, on the other end, and it should pop out enough to where you can either get your screwdriver and do this way, or in my case it just flew right off completely. The new U-joint came with new ones, so I'm not too concerned about these old ones, but I will save them just in case. Okay, I got the first cap off. What I did was put it on a 2x4, and then I got this bigger socket. I don't even know what size it is, like 30 millimeters, something like that. Anyways, I added it for support under like this. Then I got this other socket. Like I said, you want to get one that kind of more or less fits almost completely in there, and I hit it with this big hammer here. you know, took about maybe 5 whacks. It went all the way through. I removed the first cap, which is here. Once it was past that, this cap just came off quite easily. And now I think I have to bang this one all the way back, so that, because it won't come out. I don't think I can get that far enough in, so that this cap is free. There's a little bit of play. Maybe I should have removed that fitting first. Dang it. Okay, let me bang this back out. Okay, so I'm gonna flip it this way, then I'm gonna hit it on this side and bang this one all the way through the other end, and then maybe I'll remove that fitting, at least for the other one. All right, let me try that. Okay, so now I hit it from this side, and now it went through. Now I can remove that, and this came off. Right, here's the one that I suspected was bad, and yeah, you can see it right there. Oops. Get the shadow out of the way. There we go. And because of that, I'm having a hard time removing the clip on this side. It's kind of got compressed, and I don't know if you can see it. Anyways, yeah, definitely an issue there. Sorry about that. Sorry about the shadow. All right, you can get it out of there. All right, so that's, I didn't want to come out, so I'm gonna remove the ones that I was able to get the clips out, and then I'll worry about, once I get this half of it out of the way, then I can work on getting that part that's jammed. So this is just how I did it. Added support on the bottom with the bigger socket. Got my hammer. Give it a couple of hits. It's just starting to come out a little bit there. You can see it's starting to come out. Takes some good wax, but once you get it started, it starts coming out pretty easily. There it goes. Okay. Almost. I'm gonna try to, okay, there we go. So you can see the cap is out, and they should come off quite easily. So now flip it this way, support it from the bottom like this, drive it back the other way now, and this fits in there so that it can fit. Actually, let me start it like this first. Oh, where are you going? Get back. Drive it back in. There we go. So that comes off. This comes off. All right, so now we got that part. All right. All right, so I'm having a tough time taking that off because you can see that cap is completely destroyed. So I'm gonna see if I could cut it off with this. All right, let me work on that. All right, so I cut it out with my angle grinder there with the cutting blade. Ooh, it's still hot. So you can see how one side I cut, the other side almost all the way through, and I just beat it out. So I'm just gonna beat these caps inwards. It shouldn't be a problem now, and clean it up and put the other one in. All right, installation is pretty simple. Make sure you have it aligned properly. you know, the same way that you took it off, you want to put it back in. Be careful when you remove these. They have little bearings, kind of hard to see in there, but all the way around, so you don't want those getting messed up. So you remove them carefully, put them there. Okay, I only removed two at a side, excuse me. Okay, so we're gonna, oops, actually, let's do this. This side first. I know they're all the same, but this is the one with the hole in it. Okay, there we go. So I want to make sure that you line up your fittings, your grease fit. Oh shit! Excuse my language. No, that one's still good. Okay. All right, let's put that one in like that. A little rubber seal. Okay, so this zerk goes to the top. Put it in like this. All right, let me line it up. One in, zerk fitting with the hole. Make sure you got the right one. All right. So the way I did it is, put it on the piece of wood here. The little hammer, just kind of tapped it in a little bit. And it shouldn't take much to put these in. What might happen is if they're not going in completely square, you know, if they're going in at an angle, then it'll bind. So, you know, just make sure you're tapping it around so that it goes in. And once it's pretty flush with the top, that'll be, should be enough to where you should be able to get the clip in there on both sides. So I think this one's good. I might have to bang it in a little bit this way, but I'll put this one in first, tap it in a little bit, and then put the other one in. Okay, I went in easily. Just gonna check it and make sure that, yep, see, it's moving around easily in there. Okay, I ran into another issue here. For some reason, this last one, it's always the last one. There's always a problem. I can't get the C-clips in there on both sides. You can see that I got one in there, but on the other side, you cannot even see the groove at all. And, you know, I can't bang this in any further. And it's kind of tight. This way, it's very smooth. Okay, so after going online and looking at forums and everything, I decided to pull this back out, and I removed just one of the caps. And look at what I discovered is that one of those needle bearings actually dropped out of its position, and this is actually what is preventing the, you know, a U-joint from completely sitting in properly. So I hope this is just the issue. I'm gonna go ahead and put that back where it belongs, put this back in, and hopefully I'll have enough room to put those clips in now. FYI, learn from my mistake. Be very careful when installing these caps. Looks like that was it. You can see the groove there, and on that side too. Looks like I've got enough room to put those clips back in, so let me go ahead and do that. So it went in. So learn from my mistake. I know I had read online about sometimes these thickness of these clips are different, and you gotta, I did see one guy that had to sand one down, so I was trying to do that, but you know, luckily I was doing some more research, and it made sense that, you know, if that needle bearing is on the edge, well, it's not going to allow the U-joint itself to go completely in. So you know, barring that mistake, everything else was straightforward. I did have to cut that piece off, but you know, save myself a lot of money. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this slit, the yoke, clean it out, put it back in. One quick hint: remove the Zerk fitting, because if not, it'll cause a suction and also prevent compression as well. So I removed that fitting. You know, make sure you mark where it was at, and then I pushed it all the way in, and I got all kinds of stuff coming out of there. So I did that a few times and make sure I got everything out first. Then I removed the shaft, separated this, greased it a little bit on both sides, cleaned it out real good. Now I'm putting it back in. I'm gonna add a little bit of grease in here. I'm gonna put the Zerk back, add a little bit of grease, not too much, because you want this thing to be able to compress, go back and forth. Okay, drive shaft is installed, and I took it for a test drive. No more vibration and no more clunking when shifting into drive and back to reverse. These Moog U-joints have gotten positive and negative reviews. We'll see how they go. You know, if anything happens negatively, I'll go ahead and update the video. Thank you.